Hello and welcome to Table of Geequals. I am your host, PigMonkey.
I'm your other host, Alex.
And this is our show, so spoiler alert, no bitching. With us we have Blake
Hey.
Hepp, and filling in the other seat, we have our engineer and master extraordinaire, Derrek Ord. Say hi, Derek.
Will
Derek.
we?
I'm a pretty master, and I'm extraordinary, so...
Yeah. See?
Yeah, I'll be bouncing back and forth between the boards and over here, but I got a lot to say, as usual, so...
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
here.
it's a big night for you.
It's
so.
a big night, sir.
I just have a question.
Sure.
Like, should we start a policy tonight of embarrassing guests that don't show up?
You get my vote in favor of this.
I do not want... As our guests are quite often the performers on Geeks
Oh, that's
versus
right. We don't
Nerds,
want to piss them off.
I really don't want to upset my performers. They
That's
are
true.
kind of...
They're divas.
Well, no,
I
I'm not going to say that.
I say that as one of
As a diva?
as a diva, as both a diva and a performer on GVN.
I honestly, the way I think about it is these people volunteer their time to come
No, I
on
know.
our show, and I should be generally respectful.
Just a gentle
of
ribbing.
that. Yes. Well, okay, if you wish to gently rib Ivy, you go right ahead. Because I am not saying anything that could get Ivy
outed
upset.
her. You just outed her as as not
So
being
is that
here.
gently
so that's
ribbed for her
gently
pleasure?
enough. Oh no, Blake, no.
Sorry. I guess
So-
it would
so
be you
very
taking the
wrong.
pleasure
We're
from
done.
that.
We're done. You
It's
can
over.
go.
It's
Give me a microphone to drop.
So, Blake, tell us a little about yourself. Where's your geek lie?
Heavily in Godzilla, as
Yeah.
has been made evident by the constant arguments I got into people leading up to both the Godzilla vs. Cthulhu shows.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm actually even wearing a shirt, which I'm sure translates well into the audio recording, that is Godzilla-esque. Also, of course, various video games dating back to Commodore 64 games.
Oh, yeah?
Have you played Oregon Trails?
Yes?
Not Oregon Trails, but
Oh,
Oregon
Trails. No.
Yeah.
No, I've seen that on Steam, though. I
Oh
kind of
my
want
god, I got it for my phone.
Yeah.
It's Oregon Trail, but zombie apocalypse
All right.
survival. So like instead of so and so got what was it in the old
Died of the
Dysentery?
smallpox.
dysentery? Yeah. So like Max gets dysentery. Instead of that, it's like Max gets bitten or Max gets infected, and then Max
nice.
reanimates. It's a really fun little game. You should if you have do you have a smartphone?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, you should like seriously.
I'll have to...
Oregon Trail.
Oregon Trail. It's hilarious.
We'll put that in the show notes.
Yeah, it's.
I'll have to check that out.
I mean, it's just.
I've been
Oregon
on the fence. Like, I've been watching it on Steam,
Trail. I haven't seen
but
it.
I'm sure I saw it on Steam.
No,
Now you're making me doubt myself.
no. Well, that makes me happy, but no, you should. I don't go on my Steam account very often unless I'm playing Civ
So
5.
I'm pretty sure it's one of those ones that's on my wish list. In the event of a Steam sale, I clear out half of my wish list at any given time. I've got something like 80 games that I've never touched. I just like having the option.
This is why I don't have Steam.
It's probably a safe bet. What with the Humble Bundles giving you a couple dozen games for usually under $5,
Yeah.
and the Christmas sales clearing tons of things out at 75 to something like, what's the maximum, 83% or something like that.
Here's the funny thing: you say clearing them out.
Yeah, I know,
Or
I know.
clearance. It's not like they have a limited
No.
supply or like a
I know,
stock
that's-
that they're trying to get rid of. It's like these are games that nobody's downloading anymore. Let's throw them off.
That
You know,
falls
we've already made
back to
$20
the
million
days
off
of my
this.
childhood, rummaging through the Zeller's
I
electronics
know,
section,
but
looking
it's-
for a discount Mario Kart.
It's amazing that they've been able to train us to such an extent that we can just,
Although they do sometimes
clearance
run out of keys.
digital content.
Because they only get so many keys
Yeah.
generated by the manufacturer at a time, they actually do
they have
run
so
out.
many licenses that they
Yeah.
can sell.
Which,
I have a feeling it's nowhere near as limited for these clearance
Oh,
games
I'm
that-
sure
No.
that...
Or that they'd bend the rules to give a couple more keys
they,
out.
And
This is selling
always
really
do,
well,
They
uh,
always do restock eventually. Anyway, I've run into it a couple of times right after they had the Humble THQ bundle. I decided to, may THQ rest in peace. I decided to go and round out the collection with a few THQ games that weren't part of the bundle. including Red Faction Guerrilla, which I fucking loved.
I'm always a fan of the original Red Faction.
Yes, and for me, Guerrilla captured a lot of
I
that
love-
without being able to drill right through everything with the rocket launcher. Of
Titan
course.
Quest was my. I loved Titan Quest.
Scorched Earth was mine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember Scorched Earth? The one with the little tanks, and you could drive them like for 3 seconds. Then it was just degrees. It was like the original
Yes,
Angry
I played
Birds.
that.
Yeah.
It was more Worms-like than anything.
Yeah, it was kind of
It
like
was Worms before Worms was Worms.
Do you remember an old Windows game called Bang? It was
No.
basically Angry Birds against the computer. Like, you had to, like, it gave you wind, like, I think it came on Windows 95 or
Right.
something like that. It, like, gave you the wind speed and direction. And it was your cannon versus either the
Oh,
computer's
I
cannon
remember
Yes,
that.
I remember
another
playing that.
It was
yeah.
on. It was on Atari.
It was
it on-
also on
okay.
Macs, old Macs back in the
So,
day.
like, yeah, and then you say, like, your angle and then, like, how hard you want to shoot. And
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
just,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
And you had a few weapons you could choose from too.
No, just
No,
cannons.
it was all.
I
it
could have
was,
sworn
it
there was an
the
option
first
you could
physics game.
randomly
I guess.
get a
Yeah,
bigger
basically
one.
a physics
Maybe
game.
I'm remembering incorrectly.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah.
You're wrong. You should,
I'll accept that.
you should begin to question all the facts you think you know.
I always do.
Okay.
Because
good.
everything you know is wrong.
Yeah.
Weird Al would be.
Hey, before
be
we
proud.
leave video games, you guys see the launch of the press conference for the Xbox One that happened this week?
No.
No, they announced the name
Yeah.
of the next Xbox, what it looks like, and 4 or 5 of the games that you pretty much already knew it was going to come out with it.
Some of the things they're aiming to do with it, which
Yeah.
I do like the
Xbox
idea
One.
of sort of an all-encompassing console. You know, you can do your TV, you can do your movies, you can do your gaming.
you
But
live in
then
the
again,
United States.
all of them
Right.
do that now.
If
like,
you live in the United
Yeah.
States, none of the content will be licensed for Canada.
awesome.
I guarantee it.
Although I can already have Netflix on my Xbox 360, so that's all I want with that anyway.
Yeah,
But I
cable and sports.
I
those
like
won't be
the
licensed.
idea of it, but what a lot of people are up in an uproar about is the fact that if you borrow or buy a used game from someone else, like when they put their game
doesn't
in,
work.
it's not that it doesn't work. It registers to their account. If they want to transfer that to someone else, you have to pay a licensing fee to get that transferred to your account. And there's some rumor, which none of it's been confirmed, that the fee will equal the cost of the new game. So all you have is the physical disc, but you still have to pay for the license the same as if you just bought it
Oh,
brand
look
new.
at all these people. They buy their game once and then they get rid of it, and we're losing money. How can we screw them out of more money?
I mean, granted, when I buy a game, unless it sucks, I pretty much keep that game forever. I have an ever-growing games library. I've got a nice...
I think you're in the minority there.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
get rid of mine as soon as I'm done with them. Unless it's like a super rare
I
one.
get
that's
nostalgic for them in a few
You know
years
what?
and play them
I
again.
think they're actually really shooting themselves in the foot.
They are.
First of all, they're destroying an entire industry of games. Like
Oh, EB Games, GameStop, all of
yeah,
them, they'll be
they're
done.
destroying an
They're done.
entire industry. The other problem with licensing this way is that people would take their old games and sell them to buy a brand new
yeah.
game.
right.
Wait, if I bring in, like, these 3 games, I can get Halo 18 free?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's just, them getting it free from EB. EB is still buying it from Microsoft or whoever.
And then
does it,
EB
yeah.
has the nice used game stock to make up the difference.
No, I hear what you're saying. They're assholes.
Well, I mean, I understand it's a genius move for licensing, but
I don't think it is, though. I think in the end...
I think I really, in the end, I think it's going to be essentially ineffective because it'll take like 5 minutes before some nerd cracks this.
Everything has always been cracked. There hasn't been an uncracked thing yet. But I know it's just annoying to me as someone who, yes, I do keep all my games unless they suck, but I do borrow games and I do loan games. And this seems like it would eliminate that. Like,
well, yeah, like so now you can't borrow a friend's game and try it out at your place.
Which is bullshit.
Yeah, you can't try it out, and then if you want it, you go and buy it.
I have bought games that way. Like my roommate Travis pre-ordered Borderlands 2. Got the big treasure chest and the bobblehead and all that stuff. It's actually pretty cool. He went away one weekend. He said, after playing it very heavily, said, Blake, if you want to play this, now is your only opportunity to do so. I pretty much blew away a weekend. When he came back, I went the next day to EB Games and bought a brand new copy of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, I don't know why these companies seem to be thinking that everybody wants to be always connected, first of all.
They don't want to be. They want them to be always connected.
And I think
it's
that's something they
difference.
announced is that they haven't officially announced it, but they're saying that it's not going to be always connected.
Yeah,
the new
but
Xbox.
You know what? I think that they're going to backpedal, and I think with the new Connect and the new terms of service,
yeah,
like they're really pushing for like any of your online interactions. They basically say we won't be monitoring them all the time, but we reserve the right to monitor and basically look over your shoulder and collect all this data.
The Kinect is actually going to be on constantly.
Yeah.
Which is fucked up to me. That's the one thing I'd rather have my system hooked up to the internet than have a fucking webcam that can look at me whenever I want.
Well,
that kind of eliminates the whole playing in your underwear on your day off sort of thing.
I mean,
See, this is what I like about Steam, because yes, it is. They do, if you want to play any of their games multiplayer, they do check to make sure you have it licensed to your account. But they still let you play offline mode. Every single game that has single player, you can play offline mode.
So there you go, people who are buying video games.
vote with your wallet.
Yeah, vote with your wallet and move in droves back to PCs.
Yeah,
because PCs you could still trade games.
Well,
and you get, honestly, I don't know what console gamers love so much about consoles, because video games on computers you can still trade, and they're better. They're better looking. They're just a better game.
As a console gamer, I love the fact that it's a lot more casual. Like, if there's a new game coming out, I can throw it into my Xbox
and it'll work.
Not worry about it. Whereas with PC, and I used to be a PC gamer, like after 4 years, I have to update my computer.
Yeah,
or else it's like, or hell, sometimes even after 2 years, it's like, you know, it starts getting laggy.
Whereas I had a nice run of a good 4 or 5 years when I bought my used Xbox 360, where it was playing games that were above and beyond any computer I had. And only just recently, like I think November, when I bought a new gaming laptop, did I get to a point where it's like, okay, PC gaming for me is now better than console gaming again for a while.
Yeah, but I mean, it's between the Xbox and their bullshit and the rumors that, or I don't know if it's rumors or if it's been confirmed, but the PlayStation 4 being
always online.
Well, download only.
Yeah.
Like, and neither of them are going to have backward compatibility, apparently.
Yeah.
So between those two things, I'm not buying either one of those fucking systems.
Yeah, but people said that about the PS3. People said that about the. Well,
I just wanted a good Blu-ray player.
I'll buy the PS3 once the PS4 is out and the PS3 gets cheap. It's the same thing as when the PS3 came out and the PS2s, the slim ones, went on sale for like $40 at Canadian Tire. I bought one. Now, I've loved the heck out of it, but I wasn't exactly first in line to get that one.
Oh, well, I guess we'll find out over the next year what more about the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One and decide from there.
Xbox One.
Yeah. They went from 360 to 1.
Well, everybody was picking at them for possibly calling it the Xbox 720.
Or the Infinity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a few people that have a Wii U and they're having a blast with it. I know other people that are not touching them, though. So I know one guy
the
that
Wii U's been dropped, hasn't it?
Didn't I
see something about the Wii U.
I think I remember seeing that too.
Yeah, Wii U being dropped.
Dropped by whom?
How?
Like by Nintendo.
That doesn't seem likely.
I don't see how that could be. Go, Derek, go.
Unless you mean, hey, we're dropping this awesome console on you, gamer folk.
I mean, like, failed kind of dropped.
Oh no, it was EA that dropped it. EA dropped its games, but it just came out and denied that they dropped anything.
Isn't
for it,
EA the company that hates gamers and loves money anyway?
Well, they did. They reversed their online always thing just recently. They posted.
We talked about that last week, the week before, I think.
Yep.
So no, that's what I thought, because my personal experience using it as a third party, as having a friend who owns it, was, hey, this is really cool and unique.
Yeah.
And then a huge glut of Monster Hunter, which is really cool because it does allow you to play multiplayer Monster Hunter using the Wii U, the control pad that comes with the Wii U, and people who have a 3DS copy of the game can join in on the same game. That I think is kind of neat.
I play more PlayStation 1 games on the PS3 than I do PS2 or PS3.
Really?
Yeah.
Jade Cocoon.
I still play Final Fantasy Tactics, Final Fantasy 7. I'll go to the
Tactics.
store.
Oh, Final Fantasy Tactics was brilliant.
Yeah, so like I'm like, if there's not even a chance of me getting to play my old games, I'm out. And I love how these new ones look, but I'm not a big gamer. I'm an old school gamer. I like my old RPGs. I still play Super Nintendo. And I'm not out of the loop.
Chrono
I know
Trigger,
what's
baby.
Oh, fuck.
Fucking Chrono
Earthbound
Trigger.
is getting released.
It's one of the
Really?
things-
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
So I'm laughing at anybody who, just before that was announced, bought one of those $700 copies on eBay.
Right. Oh, this is a whole nother game.
$700?
Or some obscene price. I don't know if it's $700. $700 is a number that's in my head, but
Oh,
obscene.
Earthbound.
No, that's like with the Wii U, just falling back to that, the Wii had the virtual console. You could buy virtual versions of the old Nintendo and Super Nintendo games and have them on your Wii U. The Wii U has the same thing, but they periodically cycle them on sale. I think Travis got Super Metroid for 37 cents.
Game fucking rules.
Yes, it does. Best theme music of a SNES game. And there were some good ones in there.
So, getting on to the Week in Geek. And I'm very sorry, but I like it, so it was pretty much doomed. Zombieland dropped by Amazon. Creator cites fan hate.
Congratulations.
When I saw that on the Week in Geek, I assumed that was directed toward me.
Yeah, they've actually hated
when
a
I
show
came
out of
in here and
existence.
said that, he sat down and you looked so smug. You've seen it, so you looked so smug. You hated it.
No, actually, the funny thing is, and I was watching it, and I really wanted to be able to come in here and say, PigMonkey, what the fuck, man? That was horrible. What's wrong with you?
But you went, you watched it, it was good, then it got canceled.
It's actually,
Jesus.
I actually watched it after it was announced that it was canceled. But, always late to the party, like with Firefly and everything. It was good. It wasn't as good as the movie.
But it wasn't going to be the movie.
No, and that's fine. I can see why it was canceled, especially, and you never saw the preview for it, did you?
No.
Yeah, you need to go back and watch one of the trailers for it, because the trailer I watched was absolutely horrid. It made me think that it was going to be like the worst television show on the internet. It just, I don't know. I
the entire internet, and there are some pretty bad fucking shows
there are
on the internet.
Yeah. No, it just looked really bad, and I couldn't get behind it for that reason. But I listened to you and I watched it, and
You enjoyed it,
I'll admit it wasn't the worst half hour I've ever spent on the internet.
and you laughed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then it succeeded.
Let's bring it
liked
back.
it. I mean, personally, I think
6 seasons in a movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
We'll start a big protest.
Yeah, I think, I liked it, but I think it was trying to be the movie. Like, it had that feel to me. I mean, where they followed the same people. Now, the Zombieland movie was their story. The Zombieland TV
The
show...
Zombieland movie was Tallahassee beating the shit out of zombies.
Yeah.
That's what
But,
it
I mean,
was.
it was...
And that's what they want. They wanted Woody Harrelson being Tallahassee again.
If
And
they could have
that's-
had
and
that,
that's
that
where
would have been
fan
fine.
hate comes from, right? It comes from.
But it wasn't any of the actors from the movie.
It should have followed
So it
a
felt
new group of people.
it felt like watching somebody trying to wear somebody else's shoes, and they just don't fit. And I don't know, like, I would have loved to see them expand on the world that is Zombieland and maybe take the time to follow someone else's story. Because, I mean, they established in the movie, for instance, that Zombie Kill of the Week was a thing that was followed and honored by more than just the protagonists of the movie.
Yeah, well, I thought that was pretty cool.
I
would have liked to seen a few shows of
obviously there's
of the zombie
little
kills
packs
of the
of
week.
survivors around, and obviously they get news back and forth for these people to have heard
Sure.
about these zombie kills. It would have been neat for them to go.
See, I look at the whole
pick another
zombie
group.
kill of the week thing a little differently. Kind of in the sense that, like, narrators of stories will sometimes know more than they really should. I think of it as just, like, kind of a narrator's power. It's not actually them communicating with other survivors, because remember, they said in the series, you know, they don't have contact with anybody else.
But again, and I can't remember the specifics, but I think it was Woody Harrelson killed something and then said, "What do you think? Zombie kill of the week?" So obviously unless they hashed it out between the two of them.
I think there's over-analysis.
Yeah,
going
I
on
do
here.
agree that there is definitely over-analysis, but I don't think that there's actually, like, a network of survivors communicating, saying...
Yeah, this is... I have the zombie kills. That would be a really morbid fucking network, you know? It's like, you have, like, this sort of underground...
you know what?
Like,
r/zombie kill of the week.
internet connection... This really low quality where everybody's in their basement typing up their zombie kill.
It's a real player, like it's all choppy. There's a 7-second real player video of you just hitting a zombie with a 2x4, then you just email it to each other.
Zombie kill of the week.
Yeah.
Buffering.
It's so sweet.
But you know what? You know what, though? At the end of the world, people often overlook entertainment and to, like, those types of things to
That's
stave
because
off
when you're
insanity.
running for your life, there is no time for entertainment.
And
there is only
kind of
time
thinking,
for running.
That, as the resident zombie expert, that kind of thinking will only lead to your downfall. You always need to make time for entertainment.
Even if that entertainment is bludgeoning the
It's basically
shit.
snuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Snuff
at the end
snuff
of the world,
is good entertainment.
At the end of the world, as long as we're talking about zombies.
Well,
then
at that point, you've definitely killed a few, like you
to
killed,
survive.
right?
You've
so you
probably
killed
a
a bunch
few
of them, right?
humans by now. Too.
Yeah, fuck
think
it.
about it.
Well,
think
from
about
a
it in
distance
terms-
with a sniper rifle, a
Same
zombie
thing.
and
think about
a
it in
human
terms of
look
any
almost
of our
exactly
sports.
like.
Any of our sports mirror, like, hunting or warfare, you know. So now we're just kind of going back where back in, you know, ancient times we would you know, cheer for the great hunter,
Right.
or the great warrior,
And they'd behead a guy, and we'd be like, "Fuck yeah, that
yeah.
guy just beheaded him."
yeah. Now
Can't even
we
imagine that.
revert back to that. We revert back to that.
We're sensitive bitches now, man.
And I mean, the
We
audience
complain
would
about
be
everything.
super proud to catch a head that goes flying into the stands.
Well,
the
we're
great warriors didn't get multi-million-dollar shoe contracts.
They just didn't
they got
die.
fed.
Yeah,
The great warriors were mostly slaves.
but they got fed.
Yeah.
Maybe bedded some women
Yeah.
and.
I'm
went
sure
on
that
their way.
I'm sure those gladiators had quite the following
Oh yeah,
of women. I mean,
Oh,
that was
no
like
doubt.
that was like the yeah. There's a chance that I could die in the ring, but chicks love scars, man.
Well, and I love how like they found evidence of like posters where, or paintings where these gladiators would endorse products.
yeah,
Like, just I can't even imagine.
ancient Rome.
Herbal essences. You're wondering.
Maximus takes off his helmet. These long flowing locks.
He's in the shower rubbing soap on his chest. They're like, "Oh yeah,
Zestfully clean.
yeah." Why not? I'd buy
Moving
something
on.
out of wood.
That's awful. So yeah, that sucks. I really wish I had seen a few more episodes, giving it a shot, but that's the way it is.
I hope it doesn't kill the chance for the next movie.
I doubt it, especially if they're bringing back the original cast. People will eat that alive, so to speak.
You're so proud of
Zombie-
yourself. You're like,
zombie-
eat that alive, so to speak. Right, guys? alive? I got you, PigMonkey.
Yeah.
Can you turn off his mic?
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's all the witty shit that comes out of my mouth. I only realize I did it after it comes out.
Sometimes people call me, they'll be like, man, you said something hilarious. Then they'll tell me what I said, and I'll be like, what? And then I'll go back and listen to it, and I'm like, oh, I meant to fucking say that.
Yeah.
I had no idea,
Half of the hilarious stuff I'm credited with is just looking like I meant to do it after the fact.
It's so great how you did that.
Yeah.
I think anybody who's been on Geeks vs. Nerds can relate.
Yeah. Hey, Assassin's Creed opens May 22nd with Michael Fassbender as Desmond Miles. Now, I know nothing about Assassin's Creed.
Do you want a crash course?
Well, okay, give me, yeah,
2 minutes.
It'll be less
no more than 2 minutes.
All right, so
That's
he's
boring as hell.
He's involved in an organization, and they hook him up, and they send him sort of back in time to live through a simulation of one of his ancestors. And in each case, his ancestor was an assassin. So he follows their footsteps, and they sort of learn a bit. And there's a whole lot of underlying plot and overlying plot. It's actually kind of cool.
Is this the movie?
No, this is the series of video games.
Really?
Yeah,
that's the point of the video games.
That's why, like, one he's like in like the Middle East, then one he's a pirate because he's going back to different times and different people.
Times of people
there
that can
different
be
people,
traced
though?
back to his lineage, and
Or is it just the one guy?
were assassins. It's the one guy going into the simulation, living out his ancestors' pasts, and he
Why
comes
is he
from a
doing
long
this?
line of. It's
fun.
It's part of the. Mainly
Yeah,
it's fun. It's part of this whole plot to uncover this Templar thing. And
Dude.
I don't want to spoil a lot. 'cause-
Holodecks.
That's true.
Yeah.
Why do people use holodecks?
The,
To get laid by any chick they want.
It's
Well,
actually
that's why
once you
boys use
play it and
anyway.
kind of immerse yourself in the game world a bit, it is super important to the virtual people involved.
or if you
But
like,
it's also fun to play and kind of cool.
So will there be like a final game where he gets out of the simulation?
he's simulating
and
himself.
he's fucking emaciated from being stuck in this simulation. He hasn't eaten. He's just sort of like this stick. He looks like children who've been starving to death in
Right.
Ethiopia.
Well,
and he's still
actually-
trying to do the things that he did when he was in the Matrix.
It's actually more
I
kind
could
of,
jump from a building like 5
Into a
minutes
bale
ago.
of
It's like,
hay.
well, you shit yourself in this life, so
it's,
buddy.
it's more of a he willingly goes in, he tries for like a couple hours their time, which translates to longer game time. He pops out, he's like, okay, this is what I've accomplished, this is whatever, he gets a meal or whatever, then he goes back in and tries again. Sort of like Source Code, except for how Source Code turned out for the guy.
Is he actually, is he actually going back in time and living their life? And controlling them as puppets? Or is he just pretending to?
Yeah, he's essentially, yeah. And you get penalized if you get too far out of sync with what actually happened. Like, say, his ancestor didn't actually knife that completely innocent person, but you do, and the simulation starts to fall to crap. It's kind of cool.
That's actually the best part of the game, though, by the way, is you run, and there'll just be a crowd of people, and you can just fucking shove them over. So, like, there'll be, like, an old woman with a basket full of something on her head, and you'll just run up and shove her, and she'll, like, fall over and go, ah! And then you're just like, I'm an assassin, bitch.
Also, it has
You can be
some of the most
such a dick
amusing
in that
glitches in video game history.
Yeah.
For instance, if you position yourself in a certain way and piss off some of the guards, they will climb up, go around, fall to their death, to be followed by a never-ending supply of guards who will keep climbing up trying to get you and fall to their death.
How do you know it's not the same guards falling down?
The pile
and
gets
then
bigger.
climbing back up. And going-
You can see the pile.
didn't
It
work.
gets bigger.
It reminds me, you remember Aladdin for Super Nintendo?
yeah.
Yes.
It reminds me of, like, a future version of that, where you can just jump and climb on shit
Yeah,
and you
okay,
just
yeah.
have
Yeah,
some fun.
he does a lot of parkour.
I'm going to compare the Assassin's Creed movie. I haven't seen the trailer. I don't know shit about it. But I'm going to compare it to what I bet the Prince of Persia movie was to the Prince of Persia game. And not just saying that because they're similar. I'm saying it because I bet the movie is going to be eh.
Although
Because-
from
It's
the
a
description,
video game movie, man.
Right.
What do you,
from
like,
the
they're never
description
great.
that I read about the movie, it sounds like they're going to be sticking pretty true to the plot of the games. Therefore, I'm willing to give it a chance.
Yeah, but I mean, you're
We need a good video game movie
trying to
eventually.
fit in 60 hours of gameplay story into a 2-hour movie. It's like cutting down Lord of the Rings. You just can't do it, and it's like puffing up
The big problem.
Never mind. I don't want to get started on that.
The big problem with video game movies, in my opinion, is the fact that in a video game, the big idea is that you have control.
Yeah.
You are the protagonist. Whatever the protagonist's name is, whatever their job is, whatever you're trying to do, it's you. That's why Doom was such a terrible idea for a movie. It's a first-person shooter. This one, it's a little different because like there's nuance and or I assume, and it sounds like a complicated plot,
Tomb Raider did okay. Now, I'm sure Angelina Jolie had more than a little to do with that.
Quite possibly.
But I mean, they made how many? 2 movies?
Right.
Possibly 3.
And the Mario Brothers movie, let's not forget that. That was fucking incredible.
I actually
It shit all over the source material, but it was a fun movie.
I liked Mario Brothers. It was
weird, man.
It was,
Next thing you know, you'll be talking to the mildew in the shower.
It was as close as I think we're ever going to get to an adaptation of the source material from Mario Brothers.
There's no way you can make any closer.
Without actually having a CGI Mario be the movie character, and he's just out like, it's a me, Mario.
I enjoy that film.
I mean, it's horrible.
Oh, it is.
It's horrible,
but it's amazing.
But actually, looking back on it
more
now, like
with the Goombas in the elevator,
25 years after it's been made,
right?
Going back and looking at it,
has it actually been 25? No,
about that. Yeah,
it's been 20 years.
It was 96.
I had the movie on tape too.
It
the
was
audio version of the movie.
No, it would have been like 93 or 94.
Well, that's
20 years.
20
with the kind of edgy narrator guy narrating it, I had that on tape the same time I had the VHS of the movie. So I'm listening to that, and it's like, the Goombas in the elevator start to dance. This ain't no game.
1993.
93.
20 years. They should release a 20th anniversary.
A 20th
Blu-ray.
You know what? I think we should do that as like a practical joke. The 20th anniversary release.
I want to see somebody send us some box art for a 20th anniversary Blu-ray with 80 hours of bonus features. Just Bob Hoskins saying, "I needed the money. I don't know what I was thinking, but I needed the money." And what John Leguizamo
and Mojo Nixon.
Oh God,
Mojo Nixon going, "I'm in a movie."
Yeah, he was Toad.
He was Toad.
Awful.
Let's
never speak of that movie.
And it was way better than anything you both did.
I think the Assassin's Creed movie will probably be fine just because Michael Fassbender's in it.
Right, and he's hot right now.
Which one is?
He's got the biggest stick in Hollywood, apparently.
Bro, yeah, that's right. People on set were complaining because they were like, no matter what he does, they can see the bulge of his giant cock, and it's very distracting. That would be a little distracting, I'd say. I'd bring up some pictures, but they're on my.
Yeah, I've heard that it actually has its own IMDb entry.
Doesn't surprise me.
Michael Fassbender's cock on IMDb.
Yeah, it was in Shawshank Redemption, and it's been in some great movies.
It's had a few background roles.
Yeah,
it got started. It actually didn't get its start in porn. Oddly enough,
no, it was like Gilbert Grape. It's just like regular ass movies. Why not?
He was man on the corner number 4 for
right. His dick
was man on the corner
was
number
curious
4.
bystander.
Yeah,
beer drinking man.
The really weird thing is this was all while Fassbender was doing movies in Germany. It's weird.
He's got a good agent.
Oh yeah, that's enough about his penis, I'd say.
Really?
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye is to be recast, or
you have to say it with a question with inflection.
To be recast?
Hawkeye to be recast. Dum dum dum.
I can kind of understand, this has all come from him making a few disparaging comments where he kind of said he didn't wind up playing the role he thought he was going to play. There were some script changes that resulted in him becoming Loki's mind slave as opposed to actively being an Avenger from the start.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
No, it absolutely was, but he wasn't wanting that role, and I mean, I can kind of see he didn't get to play Hawkeye for 90% of the movie. He got to play a Hawkeye-shaped puppet with Loki's arm up his ass.
He's come out and he said like, he's not as upset as everybody's making it out to be. It was one interview.
Fair enough.
And it was that, they asked, like, about what he was doing. And I get the impression that, it was just a comment, like, somebody was asking, what did you think of the role? And he,
And he, like an idiot, said what was actually on his mind.
Yeah, but I don't think he disliked it. I just think, I think his exact words were, like, I'd like a chance to really play the character.
Yeah.
And that's understandable.
And I'd like
Clint
a chance
Barton
to
is
see him play the character.
Yeah.
Character.
If he was a part of the Avengers for the whole movie, he probably would have had a lesser role, though. Because let's face it, there's better
he was
Avengers.
A huge. Well, no, Hawkeye is the thing about Hawkeye is that he has no powers, but he never fails. He's actually that good. Mm-hmm. That's like every other Avenger has horrible failures in their life, but Hawkeye, I don't think there's ever been a mission where he didn't succeed. Right?
Well, I think it was in an Avenging Spider-Man comic where he was talking to Spider-Man about it, and he was saying, like, it's not that, like, you don't know what it's like to be on a team where I'm the only guy without powers. I have to train constantly. Like, I'm always training, always, because this isn't a power. This is just me being really good.
Yeah.
And if I fail, what's the point of me being here? If I ever miss a shot, what is the point of being here? And then I think in the somebody correct me who's listening to this if I'm wrong. I'll go back and check it later. I think he actually misses a shot in that comic, and Spider-Man, like, pretends that he didn't.
Oh,
and Clint Barton,
because he doesn't want him to get depressed.
Yeah,
and
leave. Clint Barton never finds out that he actually missed the shot.
Right.
So
that's pretty cool because it shows you how much weight he puts on never missing.
Yeah,
which is I can respect that.
And then he went on and became a ninja for a while too.
Well, yeah, and he started as a villain.
Yeah.
So
in Justice, in the last incarnation of Justice League, he works on their black team. He's their assassin, which is perfect for a guy who carries around weapons.
Are you making a Hawkeye Green Arrow joke?
Yeah.
They really are the same character.
They are exactly the same.
And they played off of that every time they've had a DC Marvel crossover that Hawkeye has gone head-to-head with Green Arrow, and they've played off of that where they essentially the same thing. They pull out the same boxing glove arrows or something like that.
As much as I really love Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye, though, I think that everybody needs to just take a step back and, like, realize that these actors are not going to play these characters forever.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. even has said that when he hits 50, he's going to stop playing Iron Man. Disney has already come out and said, okay, we're going to James Bond this shit.
Well, yeah, I
rather than doing another reboot, they're just going to keep in the going continuity and pick somebody else to play.
I don't have a problem with that.
Me neither.
It makes sense. I mean, yes, everybody that was in the Avengers did very, very memorable roles, and I would not want to picture replacing them, but it is going to happen eventually. These are all actors who are becoming bigger actors because of this, and they are going to move on to other roles, or they're going to decide that they're getting too old for this shit, or they might have a disagreement with the studios.
So much fucking money that they go, oh, look, I'm going to buy Arizona.
Right.
Yeah.
And kick everybody else out.
What I'd love to see is all of the actors who have been in the Marvel movies pool their money and actually buy an island and then just, like, hang out on the island dressing up as the superheroes.
And they actually bring in dudes to like be bad guys and lose to them and shit, so they feel amazing.
Nuh-uh.
You're fired, bitch. I hit you with an arrow. That'd be pretty cool, man. I'd visit that island.
I'd watch that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Battle Royale. They got their own little island full of people to kill.
Although, could you picture Lou Ferrigno running around all painted up green, clotheslining people?
No, even better. Have Mark Ruffalo standing there. Don't make me angry.
Yeah.
Lou, And then like, he moves out of the way, hides in the bushes. Then Lou,
and he's watching like, this is so awesome. I love this. So I take it we don't really care that Jeremy Renner is going to be recast. It's bound to happen.
Well,
it will happen
I mean,
We don't want
people
it to.
are going
I'd like to
be
see him as
upset.
Hawkeye in a few more movies, so I'll hold out hope for that. But I'm sure they could probably pick somebody else good to be Hawkeye if they needed to.
Hawkeye's actually a really meaty role. I'm sure if they put time. See, problem with Hawkeye is that he's got to share screen time with Marvel Universe gods, and he's not. I mean, he doesn't. He really is the guy in the background who's.
well, I'd eventually love to see like a spy movie with him and Black Widow.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. You're never gonna see it. It's like, I don't know. There's a lot of movies I'd like to, like with Daredevil back. What we were saying earlier is Jackie Chan came out and said, "Well, if Robert Downey Jr. doesn't want to play Iron Man, I'll play Iron Man. I don't have a problem with that."
Yeah.
Ladder Man.
No, he just wants to wear cool armor and fly. He's
Right.
fallen out of enough trees.
Well, in the interview, he's like, everyone wants me to keep doing Jackie Chan stuff, and he says I'm getting old. And Robert Downey Jr., like for his fight scenes, a lot of them are just like, a close up of his face because it's the inside of the helmet and stuff. So like Jackie's like, I can do that. Can I be Iron Man? So Iron Chan is coming out in like 2016. I'm fucking down with that, man. I'll watch it.
Iron Chan.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
Anyway, you were saying with Daredevil.
Hold on.
I was just gonna say, speaking of Marvel movies, this isn't on the Week in Geek, but I was
Okay.
saying.
Well, I'll just finish up.
Sorry,
Is
yeah.
that if Jackie Chan wants to be in a Marvel movie so bad with the return of Daredevil, let's cast him as Stick.
Yeah, that would actually be awesome.
Wouldn't that be a great? He's about the right age, right?
Yeah.
And he would make an awesome Stick. I loved Stick.
He is a great character.
It's
He was actually in the last issue of Daredevil briefly, but no, great character.
He pretty much is Stick. I just looked up a picture. I'm like, holy crap, he's definitely played that character before.
He looks an old guy with an old blind guy with a staff.
Right. And like hair that's
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of frizzy. No,
I can picture that.
I like you, Jackie. Yeah, actually, no, I'm sticking with Iron Man. I want Jackie to be Iron Man. Replace Robert Downey Jr., the most charismatic
I'm
guy in the
that
galaxy.
some people might not know who Stick is. He's the guy who trained
Yeah.
Daredevil. Now it brings it all together, so if we don't have people who know Marvel, they don't feel left out.
People without taste.
Wah, wah.
Really? You think
No, I know.
that people
Shut
who... Okay, I'm just making sure, because I had a fairly high opinion of your taste up until that comment.
I honestly, I fully recognize all the horrible things that Marvel does, but I'm
I'm
deeply invested in all.
Yeah,
the characters.
I love Marvel. I've got a ton of stuff
Yeah.
but
I like comics. Marvel, DC, Image, Amalgam, whoever else wants to make them.
You were going to say something about not in the Week of Geek?
yeah,
yes.
it's not in the Week of Geek. Talking about Marvel movies, it looks like Sony might actually sell the rights to the Spider-Man movies back to Marvel, which
Spider-Man in the Avengers.
Spider-Man done right.
Yeah.
Which
How can
They
you
did a good
possibly say that?
They did a decent job of them with The Amazing Spider-Man.
go back and watch it. It's missing something. It's missing heart. Like
We
you'll be-
really have to make this movie, or we'll lose
or
the
we'll
rights.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
it's
it. It was
forced.
closer than the first three.
It's forced. I would like to, and Marvel doesn't need to do a movie where they show the origin of
Now,
Spider-Man.
everybody knows the origin
it's
of
the same
Spider-Man.
with a Superman movie or a Batman movie.
They just have some throwdown in New
Don't-
York, and he swoops in, and then he gets
don't
inducted
need to
into
show
the
any of it.
Avengers. He
It's
doesn't
just-
even have to officially join. He just has to fight by their side. It's
Yeah.
like, you're trashing New York. Here I am. Eat
But,
web.
It's still very early. I guess Sony's trying to free up some cash to put more money into their electronics department.
I could probably spot them a bit if they
$20
they wanted to buy.
Can I have?
Marvel.
Can I have? I'll spot him a
Spider-Man.
bit for a piece of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I'll take the. I'll take the pinky, the last joint on his pinky finger.
If you were to own the last joint
On
of
his
the pinky
finger.
of the pinky
because
finger,
that's when he flips out his hand.
Marvel
in
would change it. Marvel would change it so that he goes like that to shoot.
Horrible accident.
So instead of Rocky, he's doing the shocker.
Yeah. No, but I
He's
guess
also one of his
it's
villains.
been an idea that and the Resident Evil film franchise have been suggested as being sold off to raise some capital.
Who
to
the
put
hell
into
wants the
electronics.
Resident Evil franchise?
I want the Resident Evil franchise to go to somebody who will actually do it justice.
Yeah.
Who will actually make some films that resemble the games in some
Dude,
sort.
I like the first
but
one.
No, they're not going to do that.
Yes.
No, they're not.
Yes.
Just throw Joss Whedon in there. He'll figure it out.
You deny me.
I reject your reality in favor of my own.
It's never gonna happen, man.
I want it to happen so
With
badly.
4 movies,
I think it's like 6 movies.
6
Yeah.
movies now. With 6
I
movies,
saw one of them.
that's my point.
Yeah.
I've seen
That's
them all.
it. He's that like
I really
Blake has completely made my point.
Who
for
the
me.
fuck is Alice? Seriously. They decided to make this super soldier character bullshit.
Right.
Fuck that.
Oh yeah, it's definitely
If
not.
they're gonna go with a super soldier, at least have it be Chris. I mean, in was it Resident Evil 6? He's punching the shit out of
I
Bolt.
haven't finished that game yet.
Well, it's not a plot thing.
Okay.
It's a quick time action.
Oh, okay.
Where he punches the shit out of a boulder and sends it flying, and it's a fairly hefty boulder, and he somehow has biceps the size of cantaloupes now.
Fair enough.
Must be all those eggs that he's eating, all that protein.
It sounds more like a comic book, more and more.
It does.
He,
But I just...
he does show up in a lot of the video game comic crossovers, Marvel versus Capcom.
Yeah. Regardless, though, I'd really love to see, first of all, Spider-Man treated
Yes.
with the dignity he deserves. Quiet, PigMonkey.
And to have him exist in Marvel's cinematic
Yeah.
universe.
I mean...
I would like to see. Yeah, I would like to see.
even-
It's not even. Spider-Man that I really care about, but he has a lot of really
The
cool
Rogues Gallery?
villains.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all Spider-Man's villains that come with Spider-Man.
the Avengers versus the Sinister Six.
like Doc Ock. Just being able to cross over villains, like have, I know it'll never happen, but I mean, I'd love to see, like a Wolverine movie, and Doc Ock is the villain,
Right.
Like,
yeah.
and you'll never
Where they
see
just-
it because Doc Ock would totally own Wolverine.
No, he wouldn't.
Yeah, he would.
The really, like, that...
Science.
That's why you didn't see...
He would totally do Wolverine with science.
I feel like Wolverine would very easily cut off those extra appendages
would.
and then his regular ones.
No,
We're
science. It's just
Nope,
he's
science.
Science. No,
not
Metal
a science
claws.
guy.
Science.
Metal claws.
Beaten by science.
Metal claws.
Beaten by science.
It goes rock, paper...
Science.
Adamantium.
Science beats...
Everything.
Does it?
Yes.
Wolverine was
Everything.
made
Yes.
with science.
You're like
He is walking
paper,
science.
rock, Wolverine, science.
Science.
That's how it goes. Oh shit! I wasn't taught that originally. I was taught something different, but
Yeah, and the hand gesture for Wolverine is just the one finger up.
But that's the reason why we didn't see Skrull in the
Avengers movie.
Yeah, because Skrull are a Fantastic Four thing,
Yes.
and Fantastic Four is Fox.
I think so, yes.
Yeah, Fox. So
Which means Doctor Doom is out too, and he's a major Marvel villain.
yeah,
Doctor Doom is probably one of my
he's my
favorites.
he's my
yeah.
favorite.
Doom
supervillain.
does as Doom pleases.
Well, it's not that. Like, I like when they look at Doom from the point of view of a guy who's leading his country.
Well, yeah, I mean, and just like any amazing villain, everything he does is for his, like, he feels like he's doing the best possible thing.
Yeah.
Nobody else can do any better than him. Allow me to lead my country, and if you allow me to lead you, then
You will benefit as well.
bow to me, and you will benefit a little bit.
like Hitler.
and
maybe
Zod.
and eerie silence settles over the group.
Oh, it's like Hitler. Yeah, sort of, Derek. I like Hitler. I know what you mean, though.
Way
I always
to
like him.
end that one.
Something Godwin's
the
law.
difference between
Something
Hitler
something.
and Dr. Doom is Doom.
What are the differences?
The mustache, for one thing.
Well, we don't know what's going on underneath the mask. Okay, Doom could have a mustache, but Doom doesn't discriminate in the peoples that he exterminates.
That's true.
He's an equal
He's
opportunity
less of a dick.
destroyer.
Well, is he less of a dick or is he more of a dick? If he
I applaud his lack of racism.
does lack of racism, or is it just outright abject psychopathy?
Speciesism.
Is he out to just kill everybody?
You know what? I think that it's good that a person can view everybody under the same lens, the way that Doctor Doom does. He
doesn't
despises-
see skin
Unfortunately,
color.
when
He doesn't
Doctor
see
Doom
religion.
has his lens on you, he looks at you.
It's in the way of a little boy with
it's,
an anthill.
it's to burn you like an ant.
He doesn't view any particular group as being inferior. We're all inferior to Doom.
Well, we're all equally inferior.
Yeah.
I accept that. I don't have a problem with that. I'm
It's-
inferior to Doom.
Yeah.
He's Doom.
I trust him.
Yeah, that's
I
the
bow-
only
I
way
bow.
to avoid
Right.
obliteration.
Yes, you do trust him, Derek, or he will kill you.
Doom 2016.
I'd vote for him.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't read
He
comics.
can't
Submit or
possibly
perish.
be any worse.
I don't read comics and I don't know much about it, but I've always wanted to learn something about Doom, so I think I need to come by Quantum,
Please do.
and you need to just start me with something Doom-like. I want to learn about Doom, man. He's
He's a great character.
all I know about him, I'm just like, this guy fucking rules.
Well, and the great thing is, I mean, there are a couple of trades that you can get that really focus on Doom,
Right.
but his grandeur kind of escapes any one particular story.
Yeah.
He'll pop up in any book. He'll like just happen to be at the Latvian embassy in New York City, and it'll be like, oh, we have to go to the Latvian embassy and talk to Dr. Doom.
See, and that's kind of what you said you'd love to see with the movies. If the movies could mix up like that, like we're just at any given point, somebody else could be somewhere.
Yeah.
You know how like the Star Trek books, or in the Star Wars universe even, like it just goes forever and they mix up like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It would be awesome if they were all belong to one person and you could see just weird shit happen, man.
It's why you don't see like it's why you don't see mixes of stuff that are great stories. Like Batman versus Predator was one of my favorite Batman comics. That was brilliant. Culminating with Bruce Wayne beating the crap out of the Predator with a baseball bat. Like that was like the
Batman.
end of it. Hi. Wham, 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 wham. That was like, it doesn't get much better than that. I would love to see a Batman versus Predator movie, but I'm never going to see that.
Well, I mean, that actually brings up a really interesting point, though. I mean, yeah, it would be great to see that for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, where, oh, hey, Doctor Doom pops up. Oh, hey, there's a Skrull. Oh, hey, there's Doc Ock. What the fuck is DC's excuse?
Right.
Poor management is the only thing I can think of, because they're all owned by Warner Brothers. All of them.
Yeah.
Well, I think Warner Brothers is sort of biding. First of all, they don't really have to worry about that stuff, but I think they're biding their time.
For what?
I mean, I don't know.
I think they're waiting for Marvel's candle to burn out because they don't want to go head to head right now.
No, they're never gonna.
N-
But
Marvel's never going to stop.
No,
Yeah.
but I mean, right now with the Marvel Phase 1 and with the Avengers, they're very, very much in the
Yeah,
forefront.
but you could easily, well, maybe not easily, but you could definitely have had a good Justice League movie.
No, I'm not
up
saying you
by
couldn't
now.
have, but I'm guessing that Warner Brothers is thinking, okay, we'll sit on this for a few more years so we don't have to go head to head with them.
They've
No,
been sitting on it
that's-
for what, 30 years, I think?
Yeah,
they've
like,
owned DC,
well, I
like
mean, really,
4
I would
years.
say that our superhero infatuation
10 years.
started with Blade. So
We could say like slow burning start. I would argue the real start was X-Men.
okay, but I would say you didn't really get that. We didn't have a level of technology in our video that we could do proper superheroes until like Blade or Matrix. In around there, you get that the smoothness of the digital video, the way that the movement, so that it looks like from a distance when people move, it's definitely human moving superhuman abilities.
But I mean, still though, there's ways around that. And the fact, like, when did Superman come out? The first Superman movie?
Oh, 83?
83, okay.
See, I was going to say like 70.
I was going to say 78.
Oh, maybe
Right.
it might have been.
Because I actually did a poll on the background noise page. What's the greatest
79.
superhero?
79.
What's the greatest superhero movie of all time? And I picked the original Superman, just because I think, like, obviously it's not like the prettiest, but what they did at the time, man, that was fucking an awesome movie.
Yeah.
And it ended up winning. I don't know if it was just my influence, because if I was like, hey, my pick is Superman, then it kind of goes that way. But
makes people think about it.
I think about it, and I mean, so that's what, 34 years now?
Yeah.
That DC has had a cinematic universe, although every single
Batman?
thing, every single thing they've created has been its own little universe. I mean, all I'm saying is step up your fucking game, Warner Brothers. I'm not a huge DC fan, but if I was, I would be just pissed off.
I'm enough of a DC fan that I'm still holding a lot of hope that they start turning out something good like a Justice League. They don't even have to do the build-up. Like, they don't have to set up a Superman movie for this universe, or a Batman movie, or a Green Lantern or anything. They can throw those characters together in the movie. If they need to explain any of their powers, they can just do a quick off in the movie, but they don't need to.
Everybody knows everything you need to know about anybody who would be in a
They can just make the Justice League happen. And hey, they could do it in reverse order. Justice League happen, and then spin off some individual movies from that if they want to. Rather than individuals building up. Give us Justice League now.
Yeah.
get it together, Warner Brothers. We're sick of your shit. We're coming for you.
Yeah. Speaking of Disney having their shit together for superhero movies, Black Panther starting filming in 2014.
I am psyched about this.
Are you?
Yeah, I enjoy his character. I enjoy the whole thing, especially when they throw the whole
like
Wakanda
I dig it.
diplomacy. And
I dig it, but
the
doesn't
vibranium
it just
and...
like I like how they've changed Black Panther from a racist token character to a really scary badass. Because that's what Black Panther was. We need somebody black on the team.
So was Luke Cage.
Luke Cage
Sweet Christmas.
Luke Cage was blaxploitation.
Yeah.
Luke Cage and is. But when he was brought in as blaxploitation and kung fu flicks. I mean, that's what it was.
He really is an
I
amazing
love
character.
Iron Fist.
Whenever they finally get off their ass and do a Heroes for Hire movie.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Their Heroes for Hire is, it has the opportunity to be really, really funny and serious at the same time. You can't get like that funny, horrible, like absolutely horrific, funny and serious. Like Doctor Who does so well. From like they'll get those moments of hilarity followed by absolute horror and then seriousness, and that is such a great build for any story. I'd love to see a Heroes for Hire.
Actually, instead of a movie, I want a TV series.
Heroes for Hire, the TV series.
Well, there's enough heroes that you could, because they're all the Heroes for Hire are all the second string heroes.
Oh God, they're like
or
fifth
third string. Yeah.
Occasionally called up to the big leagues, but like have like my dream is for there to be a Marvel Entertainment television channel. Honestly, like just have Heroes for Hire, Damage Control.
I love Damage Control.
I mean, for those who don't know, Damage Control is the contracting company that fixes all the shit that gets broken in the Marvel universe. So Heroes for Hire, Damage Control, Matt Murdock, Attorney at Law. You could have Matt Murdock Special Victims Unit, like Matt Murdock LA, or like just totally spin that off. Then
he says something cool and puts on his black shades.
Oh yeah,
Goes off with his walking stick.
Anybody who hasn't read it needs to read Alias. It has nothing to do with the television
Yeah.
show Alias.
Yeah.
It follows Jessica Jones, who later becomes Luke Cage's wife and the mother of his child. I'd love to see her having a TV series as like a private eye. In New York
Your
City.
chances of that
No,
are
I know,
even
it'll never
thinner
happen.
than...
But all I'm saying is they have the Disney dollar. Everybody, like, just...
He's asking nicely, folks.
Please? No.
Pretty much a license to print money.
Pretty much.
All right, quickly, our last point of the week, and I know Derek's like super excited about this.
I know nothing about it.
Yeah, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon 2.
I think I'm sitting in the splash zone.
Start shooting in next spring.
Yes, and I'm excited.
Yes.
Because originally they had Ang Lee, who's he directs beautifully, like he does, like really amazing, colorful, awesome stuff. And they said he wouldn't be doing this film. So right away I was like, oh, fuck, don't spin off, because they do that a lot. They make a second one just because it's money. But this Yuan Wu-Ping is doing it. Yuan Wu-Ping is most known in America for doing the fight choreography in The Matrix, but he also did The Drunken Masters. He is the best martial arts choreographer on Earth. Without a doubt, he's done the best fight scenes. And he's, as a director, not the best director, but if you're doing a Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon movie and you're the best action director in the world, I think you're going to be fine. And Donnie Yen is replacing Jet Li as the main character,
Which is okay, because Jet Li's getting old.
right? And if they got to
It's hard
replace
to
him,
move fast when you get up there.
yeah, and if they got to replace him with somebody, the 5 years younger version of Jet Li is Donnie Yen right now. So, why not go with him? He'll be able to move. Michelle Yeoh is going to still be in it, who I am in love with. I think she's amazing.
Yeah.
And she can play whatever role she wants. I'm sure she can still move. So, yeah, I'm psyched about that. I can't wait for them to get that going. It'll be 2014. They're basing
It'll
it off
be 2015 or 16
Right.
before we see it.
right, which is fine. I didn't expect it ever to happen, and honestly, I'm not the type of person that will watch a sequel and let it ruin the original.
Well, they might get it out faster.
If it fucking sucks, all right, we tried. The first one's still amazing.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you don't know. They might get it out by 2015.
yep, that was the film that brought Chinese action films to America. Like there were
Really?
ones.
You think so?
On that scale, it won so many awards, Academy Awards. It won tons of awards. It was the first one that was in theaters and you could go see, and people were talking about.
It drew attention that it didn't previously have from people who might not.
I
Have been
don't
on
know.
their
I
radar
would say
before.
that Rumble in the Bronx.
Rumble
really
in the Bronx.
broke that.
Yep, I was going to say either that or Rumble in the Bronx.
I would say it would be Rumble in the Bronx.
but
that
Rumble in the
really,
Bronx
really,
didn't win
really-
awards. It wasn't the biggest movie on earth.
Yeah, but I
Says
mean,
you.
awards are about
It
bribes.
won the award of my heart.
Awards are about bribing people appropriately, especially.
Whose cock are you sucking?
Yeah, I mean that's.
I don't want... No, that wasn't a
How long do you
question
have? But yeah, it's based off another book completely.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, they don't have to touch. It doesn't have to have anything to do with the original Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Just keep the same kind of era, the same kind of feel to it, the same. Bring back the
Wuxia,
same
big
music.
sword fighting.
Right, sword fighting, some bouncing
Jumping around
man.
in the trees.
Yep, I fucking
Shooting
loved
those
it.
cool needle things.
See, I get sensitive about that type of thing. I like I'm sure you guys would during a comic book movie if someone didn't understand it and they started making fun of it. I went to see, I think it was Hero, and there's one scene that's beautifully shot where they're bouncing off a lake, which is why when in Kung Fu, when your balance is perfect, you can bounce off water. That's what they say. And there were a part where they were bouncing off a lake, and everyone's like, "Ha, this is the stupidest thing ever," and I just wanted to fucking strangle them. I'm like, dude, I don't go and fucking make fun of your shit, whatever the fuck it is, so don't come to my movie and ruin it for me.
Dude, this sucks. Let's go watch Too Fast, Too Furious.
Right, exactly. And I won't, I don't comment on that, so, but, it comes with the territory. I know it's kind of corny and it's kind of weird, but it's Asian film, man.
Yeah.
That's how they've been doing it for a really long time.
Well, we're over an hour now, so I'm gonna close it up.
You ready?
Thank you for listening to Table of Geequals. I want to thank Blake.
You're welcome.
And, of course, Derek.
Thank you, PigMonkey.
Oh,
That's what I should have said.
yeah.
I don't get a thanks.
From me? Fuck no. PigMonkey, you guys can talk about yourself.
Derek says thank you.
Oh,
Yes, thank you,
tell
Alex.
tell Derek thank you.
Fuck you
We're
very
not
much.
speaking to each other right now.
Yeah. Alex says you're a toad-licking son of a bitch.
Oh, well,
That's pretty much what
He would
I
say
put across.
it's not too far from the truth.
I am PigMonkey,
And I'm Alex.
and that is the show.